Hey, what's going on?
Hey Al, how are you?
I'm well, thanks, Jenna. Did you have a good day?
I did. Not a bad day at the office, I guess, which is downstairs. So I guess that's
Well,
always a good thing.
yeah, it's always a good thing.
Yes,
So,
it is. Yes, it is. Down.
so we have a special guest tonight. We have John Flynn from um, Flying Flynn Media, and
Nice.
it looks like Max Air is here first. Yes, you are, and
Hey
Mike.
Max.
Uh, it's good to see you guys. Hey, guys, thanks
Max and
for
Mike.
dropping by. And yeah, so we're going to be talking about the Mini 3. I know that Brad has got it and John Flynn has got it. And then we're also going to be talking about his hometown. Um, so without any further ado, let's bring John in. Hey, John.
Hello, everybody. Good evening.
Yeah, it's good to have you here.
Thanks
So
for having me.
tell us a little bit about yourself, John. How did you get started with droning and your path into this YouTube world?
Well, I've always kind of been interested in flight. Had the model airplanes growing up, and I think I just was on YouTube and started watching YouTube videos about drones and the pictures you could take with them. I did some photography too, so I was kind of intrigued by that possibility. So, um, like I said, I started watching YouTube videos, saw Marcus, uh, watched a lot of his videos, Ron Brown, Bill the Drone Reviewer, um, and tried to educate myself and start out with a toy drone and to make sure I liked it, and I loved it so much I crashed it. So, but got another toy drone
You needed a
and
replacement.
yeah, that's right. And I got another toy drone and didn't really like that as well as the first one. And that was about the time the original Mini came out. And was looking at reviews on that. Thought, wow, this is more what I'm looking for in terms of the picture quality for stills and video. So um, got my feet wet with DJI and. Uh, been kind of with them ever since, with the exception I do have an Autel Evo 2 that I use as well. So um, just really enjoy creating videos and trying to learn how to edit. I've got a ways to go on that, but
Let
also
me interrupt you there. What do you use for editing?
I originally started with LumaFusion, had that on my iPad, but then probably the last maybe 4 or 5 months I've used DaVinci, and kind of a steep learning curve there for me, but I love it. I'm learning something new every day, and that's part of the fun of this whole process for me is learning new things that you can do with the drones and with the editing. And my latest video, I'm actually doing a voiceover, so I'm learning how to hopefully edit a voiceover that will be hopefully intelligible on the video. But so it's just the challenge of figuring out how to do things, and I have an engineering background, so figuring things out that way. I think I enjoy that challenge of it as well. So.
So it looks like we have a few people in the house. We Brian from TDR Drones and e-bikes and scooters is here. Greg Pittman's here. Chris, the Kilo dude.
Yes.
Idasho is here, and Ray Kelly and Susan Lee. And so people are joining. Thanks for dropping by, guys. This is John Flynn, and he lives. Where do you? Well, let's talk about your hometown a little bit.
Well, I was born and raised in a small town, southwest Michigan, uh, Allegan, and it's about 35 miles from where I live now in the Kalamazoo area. And it's just a small little town um, that I go back to. I don't go back to quite as often as I would like to, but I did go back recently and do a video of it, and it's changed a lot, obviously, since I've been there. They put a lot of money into the riverfront, and I tried to capture a little bit of that in the video you're seeing now. So,
As we can see here, it's the riverfront guys that look super nice, right? So picturesque. They definitely put some money into the place, right, John?
yeah, they sure have. I mean, they've probably been working on this for, over the course of probably 20 years or so, but it just
Wow.
seems like they're getting better and better at it. And that's an old iron bridge from the 1880s that they're in the process of restoring and refurbishing. It's a one lane bridge that they've kept, and it's kind of like a little icon of the city there. So kind of neat that they've saved it.
And sorry about that overlay on top of your video there. I was trying to answer some. Yeah, it looks awesome. I mean, look how picturesque this place is. Wow, super nice.
Yeah.
The row houses are so pretty. And you were telling us about this tower there. Can you elaborate
Yeah.
a little?
There's a zip line that they have that you can use. Fortunately, it wasn't running when I was there or anything, or I wouldn't have been flying over it. But I definitely made sure I knew where those lines were before I flew
That's
over.
nice.
So I flew plenty high, so there wasn't any issue there. But this is an older part of the town, the Mill District, where they actually made caskets once upon a time. There was a casket factory in the back there. It's just kind of some old buildings now, and that's the city dam that they did use that at one time to generate power, but I don't think they use it any longer. But still a neat place to see both from the ground really and from the air. So
Well, thanks for sharing that. I mean, look how pretty this place is. I mean, super nice.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really pretty.
it really is. I'm going to go back like I said in the fall and when the colors are out and see if we can capture a little bit of that as well. So.
And then, so tell us about how cold it gets there. I know everybody wants.
Well,
It's Michigan.
we're fortunate in a lot of respects. We're relatively close to Lake Michigan, so that kind of takes the brunt out of the cold. It would be much colder in Wisconsin, but the downside to that is we get the lake effect snow. So we can get typically in our area where I'm living now, 75 inches or so a year in snow is about average. Where I grew up,
75?
yeah, where I grew up, which
Yeah.
was closer to the lake, it was closer to 120 to 140 inches. So just in a 35-mile difference, actually it's probably less than that. If the crow flies, you can see the influence that lake effect has. So, but fortunately, we've got a couple months where we don't have to worry about ice and snow. I hope.
Yeah, what's that? July and August?
Yeah, July and August, and then September.
Yeah.
Bets are off. Anything can happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like New York in a way, too.
Right.
John, I just have to say, I mean, looking over your shoulder, that reminds me of one of those shots from Wile E. Coyote with where he's just plastered up against the wall, on the wall. You're just there. It's like, bam.
You know what that is? That's my first drone, or what's left of it. That's my SJRC. I think it's F11, or I can't remember what it is, but
That's actually a pretty good flyer.
it was a great first drone. I mean, obviously, it doesn't do well when you plow into trees, but I don't think many drones do. So, but I kind of keep that as a souvenir of my early days in droning. Those many months ago.
Thank you, Susan. I'm glad you reminded me.
Good.
Appreciate you doing that. I should just give you administrative, right, Susan? So, uh, yeah, unbelievably nice, Susan. Thank you. Yeah, and so Jenna, what's been happening at your end of the world? I mean, you've been busy as heck with probably trying to put that video together with the what was it, a B-29 bomber, right?
Yeah, I'm going back and forth depending on literally the time of day in a sense, because the 360 with the B-29 bomber, the first 30 minutes. Well, I think the Insta-1 360 X2, I think just record 30 minutes in total, and then it'll shut off, and then it'll start another clip. I think. Well, at least it did that, and then once there's a little bit of a lag, and then it picked up again, and then it finished the video. But the entire video, for 360, 5.7K is like, I don't know, it's over 50 gigs when you start combining them and trying to output something like that on the computers. And then I tried to upload it to Dropbox. It didn't upload. But anyway, yeah, I've been fussing with that. And then my video of what I'm calling the two volcanoes. So I could show a little bit of the 360 video if you want to see it.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah,
Right,
we're always interested in seeing some good footage, especially on B-29. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, let me get that up. And
That'd be awesome. So while you're doing that, let's talk to John. I said you got the Mini 3, right?
Yeah, I've had it about a week now, Al, and haven't flown it as much as I'd like to. Just kind of been busy on other projects, but what I've experienced so far has been good. I haven't had any, knock on wood, any issues with range or anything, but I haven't really sent it out too far. But man, it reminds me a lot of the Air 2S flight characteristics wise. It just in a little bit smaller package. It has similar features, the Air 2S, and I'm excited about getting it out there and flying it some more. I think I got it with the new RC controller, which is kind of new for me, and really been enjoying being able to get it up in the air super quick, and it's just a nice small compact package, and it'll be great for just popping in your backpack and going too. And one of the reasons I got it, I hope to do some travel in the next year or so in Europe and maybe Ireland, and like to take that with me and maybe look up some of our Irish droners up there or out there in Ireland, and maybe have a little meet up over there. I think Captain Ray's gonna do that too, but he'll probably beat me. So, but it's so far it's been a great drone, and it's amazing amount of technology in an awful small package. It really is.
So what is the things you like the most? The two things you like the most and the two things you don't like so far. I mean, you only had it a week, so I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah. Well, I think the big thing for me was I'm excited about the camera and the low light capabilities. I haven't tried them out a lot yet, to be honest, but that was probably the reason I got it. I love my Mini too, but it just wasn't good to capture like sunsets or any. I don't do a lot of night flying, but I do some, and it just it didn't do as good a job as I'd like it to. And just again the size and the fact that it came with that controller. I mean, that was such a good deal in my view. I mean, I'm real pleased with the functionality of that and what it can do. And like I said, it's so quick to get it up in the air. No phone to plug in, and I have a triple tech that I use with my other drones, and I love that too. But it's just nice not to have the cable and all the other things that go along with that. You just turn on the remote and you're good to go. So, and some of the things that I hate about it, gosh, to me, I don't really have anything now. I haven't really flown it enough to find anything that I dislike. the hardest thing is just unfolding it, and it's kind of counterintuitive to what my muscle memory is from some of the other drones I have, and but it's not really a complaint. It's just kind of funny. It's like, okay, now how am I? I'm trying to get the arm to go one way, and it doesn't go that way. It's kind of counterintuitive to what I'm used to. So
Yeah, with the swinging the back
Yeah.
legs. Yeah.
right. So
John, I think you really hit on a couple of good things as to why people, what makes a drone, really successful in the sense that it's quick to get up, it's compact, it's got a good camera. Because if you're just going to fly a drone, you could fly FPV.
right.
Actually, it could be a question later. It's like, are you interested in flying FPV? But we won't go there just yet. And the ease of just doing it, right? I mean, flying and controlling it, right? Because you can get up in the air and good camera stuff like that. But if it's going to take you an hour to set up the control station, if you would, and I mean, what's the point there too?
Right.
So I mean, those are really, I think, some really top touch points for, any drone. If you put a drone up in the air, why are you doing it, right? I want to get good pictures. I want to get video. It's unique. It's a unique perspective.
Right.
So, and the Mini 3, really touches all, like all on those points. The cameras in these things, they're incredible. It's computational photography and the video is HDR. It's, Dolby, whatever that you can get. You start to get that out of your drones.
Yeah. It's like, where are they going to go next? What are they going to come up with next? It's amazing. And I think, like you said, the fact that you can get it up in the air, and I was really pleased that we didn't have the satellite acquisition errors, or not errors, but issues that they have with the Mavic 3. But that wasn't an issue. I knew, DJI would get that squared away for the Mavic 3 owners, but I didn't personally want to have to live through it with my purchase. I waited long enough to get the darn thing. So
So you didn't want to be doing the product development. One of the things that I noticed, with Brad and I flew his Mini 3, his was so quiet.
Yeah.
But it was also fast. Fast.
Mm-hmm.
We were hitting 38 miles an hour in the sports mode. And
Wow.
And the other thing that I really truly like, and I think, I wasn't really thinking about pre-ordering it, but now I'm considering getting it because of the fact that you got that vertical shooting mode. Really like that. I think I can't remember. Somebody posted how YouTube has been deleting some of their subscribers that are not watching your channel. So if your subscribers aren't watching your channels, they're pulling them out of your channel because they're just stagnant, right? And not real metrics. And so we lived on a borrowed platform, right? They can shut that thing down anytime they want. They can change the rules anytime they want. And Facebook too. And so it's Instagram. So it would definitely make sense for us to diversify and use all the platforms. And not only that, it makes sense that stand up your own website and just put your stuff out there too.
Right.
It's not that expensive to do nowadays. And so we just have to be, honest with ourselves that we're using a platform that somebody's allowing us to use that platform. It's not our it's not our right. It's just a privilege as they let them use it. And obviously they're making a lot of revenue because, we're producing the content that people are consuming.
Right.
And they're able to, add ads to it and promote whatever products or agenda they want to promote. So they control a lot of levers, and we have to just be aware of that. That's what's going on, and just face the facts. that they're going to do that, and they're going to change the rules eventually. Kind of like how Congress changing the 401k rules and retirement rules all the time. You know, they can get rid of 401k at any time.
Yeah.
They can get rid of that 401 section K, gone. You know, game over, right?
Well, that's something to look forward to.
Right.
No, they'll never do it, but they could. You know, if they had enough, I don't know what they call it. I guess.
Yeah. So, Al, do you want to see that 360 video real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me.
Yeah. Share it.
Yeah. Let me
Oh,
share it.
I'm looking for it. Let me see. I'm going to remove this one.
Share screen.
I'll stop sharing. Stop sharing that.
Like
Okay.
that.
I'm looking for
And
it. Oh, there it is. It's coming in. Okay. There
Yep.
it is. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
There we are.
This is it. This is the video from underneath the B-29. That was Joe that just walked in front. So, and yeah, it's probably a little choppy. Needs to get going here. But yeah, this is and it takes a while. I mean, right now, I mean, they're literally, you know, it's on. They're prepping the plane. This is actually going to be for the air show, and so it takes a while for these planes to get in the air. So I'm gonna just fast forward a little bit.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
And you know, again, this is, you know, it's 360.
Nice. And that's the beautiful thing about the 360, right?
Yep.
That's very cool.
And you know, these planes actually have this bottom skid, and Joe said, you know, I've actually never seen that skid go up.
This is the first video in the world of a 360 camera being mounted on a B-29, guys.
I think it is. Honestly, I honestly think it is.
I searched for one, Jenna, after you told me about it. I couldn't find another one.
I've gotten it on the top of a B-24. It's on my YouTube channel. And let's see if we can get it while we're taking off.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I only saw 2 props spinning, and now we're seeing all 4 of them starting up. So.
Yeah, and that's because the runway is kind of small, and as you're going on the runway itself, you don't want these outboard engines to actually hit the runway lights. So they only spin them up when they're on the long runway, and they also turn them off, or you know, or shut them down actually before they get off of. So there's the other bomber for the air show. That's Diamond Lil B-24.
Very cool. Now, where's this at, Jenna?
This is at the Reading Air Show World War II weekend, and it's like being on a movie set. I always say that it's like being on a movie set for 3 days because everything there is real and authentic. The Jeep, the armor, the you know, the battles that they have. Oh,
they have the reenactments.
Reenactments, yep.
Nice.
Pacific Theater, French Village Skirmish, flamethrower demonstrations.
Oh, wow.
Usually, you know, the airdrop with, you know, the parachutists.
Paratroopers, you know? Right?
Yeah.
Right. Very cool.
That is super nice. I mean, look at this view. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's way beyond cool. I think it's super cool. Well, you know, the ultra geeks like us would love this stuff.
Yeah, it's, you know, it might be a little boring for some, perhaps, but you know, for the folks that like, you know, this sort of thing, you know, which is I do, and this is one of the few planes I haven't ridden on yet. I've ridden on the B-17, the B-25, the B-24, the B-29 is going to be next.
Yeah. Well, how were you able to get yourself on these planes that are probably only one or maybe probably 10 in the world flying, maybe?
There's only 2 B-29s.
What? That's amazing.
Yep.
Whoa,
So
look at this
17.
view. That is nuts.
And yeah, there's only 2 of these flying actually in the world. There was 3, but it unfortunately had an accident and actually burned
Oh,
in Iceland.
Oh no.
So there's Fifi, and then there's Doc. These are the only, yeah, these are the only 2 B-29s, and
I agree, Greg Pittman. This is a really neat
that's
video.
very cool.
Great shots. Agreed, Mike. I mean,
so
just,
yeah, it's cool.
and it's really cool. How long have you had your Insta360?
So I've had it, what, shortly after last year, I think I got it. Perhaps, right? Maybe early last year, or maybe the year before. So I mean, it's the X2. So and they've come out with a modular one now. I got it when we're prepping to go to Hawaii. So, but
It's a very cool perspective. It's like
yeah,
you're trapped on the bottom of the plane. They're gonna drop you like a bomb over somebody's house.
it's different. You don't see this view every day, that's for sure.
You know,
No.
Jenna, we have a air museum here in Kalamazoo, and they just recently restored I think a Douglas dive bomber, Dauntless, that they
Yeah.
recovered from Lake Michigan. And actually, my brother, he isn't any longer, but he actually worked on. He's a volunteer there, and man, I tell you, the man hours they put in to restore that, incredible. But they did just a fantastic job on it, and it's not in the museum here in Kalamazoo. I think I want to say it went to Texas, but I'm not positive. But we do have a neat air zoo. If you ever get to Kalamazoo, definitely check it out.
Well, there was a couple chats that I wanted to point out earlier. I know Ray Kelly was talking about going to Ireland in 2023, and then now we're looking at One Vision Ariel here say that he had his chance to be on the Memphis Belle. And,
Oh.
wow,
Yeah, it's incredible just to think about how these guys, what they did, and just literally just a matter of a few years, just to build these planes, to fly in these planes, just to survive in these planes.
Right.
It's yeah, well, that's why I guess they call it the greatest generation ever, right?
yeah,
True.
yeah, I agree. Because they were always, lying about their age and going to war at 16 and 17,
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It looks like Chris at Key Largo was following. What were you using to follow your boat with? Were you using the Altel product line or the DJI product line, Chris? Let us know. Yeah, that is so cool, Jenna. That is so cool.
Yeah, so it's basically just
Mini
like a
3.
big circle for the air show. It's coming up here. You can see it.
Yeah, that is amazing.
So yeah, I'm gonna work with the Commemorative Air Force yet. I'm gonna give it
Look at this nice bank he's doing now. Oh yeah.
yeah.
And then he's gonna show off right here and do a flyby.
Yep, right there.
Yeah, look at you all. Wow. That's one heck of a weekend we had.
It was awesome. So I'm still fussing with this video and then my other video.
Well, we can't wait to see it. We'll definitely promote the hell out of it,
Yeah.
All right, guys. So don't forget to hit.
I'm gonna stop sharing.
Okay. Don't forget to hit Jenna's channel, guys, and John Flynn's channel. I put the banner up here for John, and I'll put the banner up here for Jenna here in a second. Show this one, and there's John's. You can find him on Flying Flynn Media, easy enough. Well, we got a lot of people excited about this. I see 16 likes. Thanks, guys. So we got 16 thumbs up. That's very good. Appreciate you guys doing that. So let's get back on topic about the Mini 3. And are you going to buy it, Jenna?
I was going to kind of pose that question to the greater YouTube sphere and say, so, so I have the Air 2S, which I like. And I think 51 drones compared the two. And yes, there was a little bit more dynamic range in the camera because I think the sensor is bigger, right? With the Mini 3 versus the Air 2S.
Right.
And
sorry, I meant to do this view.
Yeah. And okay. And like you, John, I just started out with photography, eons ago. And my dad was into drones, which I could actually highlight maybe in a minute or something. So that's how I got into drones. And because I got him one and he didn't want to fly it. And then I started to fly it and it's, oh my God, it's got a camera on it. And I love photography. So I just naturally got sucked into it in, 2017 and I haven't looked back since. And now I'm starting to get into these guys.
Oh, I'm telling you, I copied you, except for I got
you
the 3.5 inch.
Yeah, you supersized it.
I did. And
so, I mean, would it be worth it, right? I mean, I like the Air 2S. I mean, would it be worth it to spend what, 1,000-ish?
$1,200 with the Fly More package.
Yeah.
The Fly More package. If I've got the Air 2S, which I've got the Air 2 and the Mavic Air and a few other drones.
Mavic 2 Pro.
So.
And the Sparky, you can't forget about Sparky.
Sparky, no, I got Sparky. So, it's almost to the point where, okay, you want these drones, are you going to start like skipping a generation and waiting for, okay, it's nice, but okay, what would the next level be?
Right.
And, and this is another thing, right? You got the Air 2S, right? I mean, that's kind of like, right, you've got the Mavic 3 Pro. And then you got the Air 2S, and then you have the Mini. So you've got three kind of distinct lines before you get more into the prosumer professional level drones.
Yeah, but I'm going to throw something.
Are these going to merge? Honestly, I mean, are the capabilities of these drones going to merge? I mean, are you going to only have two? I mean, would the Air 2S and the Minis merge, and then leave the next step up would be the Pro? You like the Mavic Pro 3?
Well, then you have the Avata coming online next, right?
Well, so that opens it up further to this.
Right. So now we're going to jump into the Cinewhoop with a one-axis pitch gimbal, right? So we're going to be able to pitch our camera up and down while flying the little Cinewhoop. So I mean, things are just kind of merging, kind of like now our computers, our phones, our TVs, and everything, calendars and contacts lists, and because 10 years, 12 years ago, I was carrying around a Franklin date planner,
right,
and it had everything in there.
Yeah.
Did I need it? You know what I mean? And I would selectively put documentation there because I was an engineer too, John. And so I would need notes and contact. And I was a field engineer, so I'm always out in the field. So that was my world. And that's what the phone does now, but it adds so much more. And I hear you, Jenna. Sorry to interrupt, so keep going.
Yeah, no, I just think at some point they're going to converge. I mean, pretty soon this is going to have a cup holder in it, and your refrigerator is going to have a docking station. I swear to God, it's going to have a return to home button on it, right? I mean, so bring me my beer.
No, it's going to go, instead of saying, "Hey Siri, hey drone, fly to John's house."
So no, but I think it is. I think the cameras, are only going to get so good, right? And then, where you're going to see more advances, it's going to be in the software.
Agreed.
Batteries are batteries. I mean,
okay, and that's where the money is, because you make money like this instead of having to make a product, right?
Right.
And so, software development, I agree, Jenna. I mean,
it's the utility.
And not only that, but mining the data is the huge analytics and predictive analytics are just amazing, And obviously, we see that today in the artificial intelligence of the drones, right? So Chris, he was just talking about he was following himself with the Mini 3. I think he was saying, and it was 27 miles an hour. it was keeping up with it, and it was doing all that predictive analysis when it goes behind something. It's predicting that you're going to come out at the other end. It's going to then pick you up there
Yeah.
and keep tracking you, right? And so that's nothing new. I think that artificial intelligence is going to continue to. It's out of control already. It's going to continue to be out of control, even
Well, yeah.
exponentially.
Google, what, Lamada or something like that, claimed that their artificial intelligence actually became sentient.
Right.
Yes, I was just reading about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
good point. Yeah,
I mean, it's got to happen.
insane is true,
Yeah, it's gonna
Kiargo.
happen at some point.
Insane, and I know you're in IT too, Chris. I mean, you and I discuss this at great depth all the time. How it is totally exponentially out of control.
But even to have, I mean, to even remotely even to consider that as a conversation, and for people to lose their job over something like that. I mean,
Yeah, I know, right? And we have Marcel just off Axis FPE just joined. All right, thanks, man, for dropping by. Appreciate you doing that. So, Jenna, your dad was given this huge joystick to the drone. That it was such a. Do you have it handy? Holy crap! No way. Let's see this thing.
Wow.
Yay! You got it.
this is it.
Oh yeah! Look at that thing.
Yep.
All right. So, give us some context. Where did it come from? How did you get it?
So
And
so this is my father's. This was given to him, and it says to Richard Cook. In recognition of his efforts in achieving the automatic takeoff and landing capabilities with DFCS, on the 1st of June, 1984, PQM 102, which is a Delta Dart, targets number 107 and 745, flew the first unmanned automatic flight from start of takeoff roll to end of landing roll, which that's not always a given right there, because I've seen videos of that. So this control stick removed from number 107 for that highly successful mission symbolizes the aircraft control by Clyde the computer. So to me, this is literally drone history, because it is one of the two joysticks that was removed from the first unmanned aircraft, fighter aircraft, the Delta 102s, that took off from takeoff roll to flight to landing roll.
amazing.
Right here.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. Look at that thing.
That's very
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So
Well, your
First
dad
thing
is a
we
special
need
man. No doubt. No doubt.
yeah. So no,
Yeah.
I love that. I would love to do a story on that, because from what I remember my father talking about it, like that happened by accident. It wasn't meant to actually happen that day, but there was either something that happened with the runways or something that they couldn't actually go to where they were actually meant to go, or something. But there's a story behind that flight. It wasn't, I don't think it happened as planned, but it did, and it was actually both of them where they took off, and that in itself is a feat, because that was the eventual goal, to be able to take off multiple planes at the same time, not just one, but actually multiple planes.
Did you see what Marcel said? Play liftoff with it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that would be great.
He'd probably do real good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, serial number 30065, Hughes Aircraft Corporation.
very cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I got into drones. My dad has been working on drones literally, for decades. And so I got him one, but he didn't want to fly it. So then I flew it, and then drone meet camera, me fell in love.
Well, Jenna, you definitely got some unbelievable history in flying drones. And you're probably this most senior pilot here in the chat with it.
Well, I don't know about that, but I've heard about drones for a long time now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, since, I don't know, the 70s.
Wow.
that is, yeah, I agree, Susan. It's very cool. yeah, everything. And so I asked everybody in the chat what they use for editing their video, and it looks like we got a few answers here. Power Director, Wedge and Big is what he's using, so very nice. Play left off with it. I'm still laughing over that one. I gotta admit, liftoff is fun as hell, don't you think?
Oh, I like liftoff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I learned to fly. I mean, believe me, if I didn't have
All
liftoff,
day and
ugh,
yeah. You remember how scary it was the first time doing FPV? And now you're like, I just wrecked it again. Who cares? I'll go pick it
yeah.
up.
Well, I mean, like this one here. I mean, John, you were saying, oh, it doesn't do well with trees, but this has bumpers on it. I bounced it off trees before. So,
Yeah,
Oh, heck yeah.
that's
yeah.
very good in trees.
So, boing.
Let's see what Marcel is saying here. I
Oh.
was given RC stuff from my uncle for a long time because he never had kids. Oh, I had a lot of cars and boats, but never got into aircraft until recently. Well, that's a great story, man. It's always nice to have that uncle, right?
Yeah.
I used to have this Uncle Mikey for 15 years. His last name was Bell. And I used to call him Uncle Mikey because he gave me a lot of toys to play when I worked with Bell. So I would have to respond to a lot of RFPs and put together like solutions for a lot of the system integrators, like your father was working on there, Jenna. Um, my accounts were GD and Northrop Grumman, and so they were so cool. They would give me a bunch of toys, but they wanted a return on their investment within a year, and that's really hard to do in the government contracts because the procurement process usually takes about 2 years to get everything ironed out. But all right, enough about that. Off grid, everything is here. Thanks for coming by. Hey, you all, he said. All right, howdy.
Yeah, I use Premiere for my editing.
What are you using for editing, Jenna?
Premiere.
Premiere?
Oh, yeah, I got the suite of stuff. So I use Lightroom for my pictures.
Yeah.
Which they've really put a lot into Lightroom. I mean, I have Photoshop too, which I don't use all that much, but Lightroom, I almost use it every day because I usually do like a picture a day, and then I'll blast them all out at some point when I get
Oh,
around.
nice.
Well, but yeah.
So Brad is in the house. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah, man. Jump in if you want to, man. We got a quadrant just waiting for you, man. Come on.
Very good.
It's great. The one week it was like, what, 5 of us here? I said to Al, it's like a drone orgy.
It was. We had an orgy, no doubt. Oh, man. So, John, I know you mentioned what you were using to edit your videos, and I forgot, to be honest with you.
Hey, Charlie.
DaVinci. Yep. I've been using DaVinci for a few months now. Started out with LumaFusion with my iPad, and then kind of started to graduate to DaVinci and steep learning curve, but I'm enjoying trying to learn something every day with it. So enjoy that challenge, and it's a great program, and best of all, it's free.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like free.
Yeah, no, the base program is free. If you want to upgrade, what is it, like $300 or something, and then you get all the extras
Right.
with it. But now, do you use a computer with that on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a MacBook. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but the LumaFusion is good, but I actually tried using that on my MacBook because you can use it on there, but it just, I don't know, it wasn't as intuitive, at least now as I look back on it, is DaVinci is for me. So we'll see how it goes, but
then you get into 4K 60, and then you photography, and then pretty soon it's like, I mean, I don't know what it is on a Mac, but it's like oh, damn, now I got to get like an i7. Oh, hell, I get an i9 computer, blah, 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 blah. That's like, 4 terabytes of SSD space or,
Yeah, I
you know,
know. It's crazy. I don't know how many drives I got sitting over here are full. Hey, Greg, you take care, man. Go take care of those grandbabies. Have fun. Let's see. What are people saying here? Charles just joined. So Gillespie's here. So, hey, man, what's going on? Thanks for dropping by. And then we have. Did you see what Wedge and Bay said? He's busting your chops, man. It makes you Robert Walter White. Yeah, man. Breaking Bad, unbelievable show, man. I don't. If you guys haven't watched Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, you're missing it. Did you? Who's watched Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul here?
I've seen. I haven't watched the series.
Yeah, it's just nuts. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
High school chemistry professor.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
It's a great series.
Yeah, and that attorney, he ended up doing so well. They freaking gave him his own show.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty good show too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Breaking Bad is a must watch. I agreed. I mean, you get hooked on it. Has anybody watched The Wheel of Time? This is kind of like Game of Thrones.
What's that?
There's a Prime Video Prime special. It is really good. A lot of good actresses. Jenna, you would like it because the characters are mostly women and they're strong women. You really would like it.
That's right, just like the shirt.
Yeah, I'm looking at you right there. Yeah, I'm all for it. More power to you all.
And actually, at Reading, there's actually Rosie the Riveter there. So.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Got my picture taken with her. That was really cool. So. Yeah. So with DJI, then I mean, I think they're going to converge. I think, I don't know how long they're going to do 3 product lines. I think if the tech continues to go in advance, then I think probably the Air 2, like the airline and the mini line might converge because I don't think they're that far apart at the moment. I think they're closer than they would be like the Pro, for instance.
Right. Yeah, I think people are talking about the Air 3, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see just what kind of a drone they'll come out with next.
Well, I'm kind of sitting on my money for the Avata, I think, because he's going to have a next generation goggles too. So that's really going to hurt us there. And that's one thing, one of the things that we love about DJI is the technology is unbelievable. The bad things, the things we hate about it is that they lock us out of using it with the old equipment. So that really turns me off, that, here you got, $600 on a nice pair of DJI goggles and they're not going to be able to work with the the nice pair of goggles, right?
These ecosystems that you get locked into.
What did I do with my phone? It's in the car. Crap. That's okay.
Yeah.
So did you see what Wedge and Bay said? That you inspired her to go clean bathroom? And she's thanking you now that she has chores. Okay. That's crazy. Well, I'll tell you what. I've been having a blast flying planes. There's one over here you can see right there. You can see the nose of it. And it is so much fun flying planes, especially the FPV. I just took my camera out of it. I'll go get it.
So, how different is that, Al, between flying a drone and then flying a plane?
Not a whole lot of different. Because I should qualify that with FPV. Okay, you're an FPV flyer, so it's kind of like FPV flying. You bank it, and you crank it. So as we're coming around, we're going to bank it, and then you're going to crank on the throttle, right? And it's just going to go. So as soon as you bank it, you can crank it, and it'll just turn fast. Just like what you're doing today with your FPV drone. So
Okay.
and
So I mean, it's a little combo like pitch and yaw and whatnot, and then
yeah, this is the same stick combinations as that. As a matter of
okay.
fact, yeah. It's, except for it's not as rugged as an FPV drone. Okay, you can't bounce this thing off trees. Okay,
Imagine that.
Yeah,
pieces fly everywhere.
yeah, that's the thing with styrofoam, I guess, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Now this kind of styrofoam, you can glue it back together. They use that B6000 or E6000. Craftsman glue. I don't know if you ever used that. It's a really good glue, by the way. If you ever have like your shoe tongue is coming off, not the tongue. They have that tip on your running shoes, and they always kind of peel off. It will hold it together. That's what we use here. Yeah. So, yeah, and then they put all these skid plates and upgraded my servos to metal gears instead of plastic gears. And I did that little VTOL, that X450. That thing is so much fun. It's cheap, dirt cheap too. And I got to put the video together. I have all the raw footage, the modifications you really should do to make it last a long time. And the only modification I did to this, I just coated the foam, and then I did put some 3D printed parts on the tips. So if anything hits, and then I got the 3D printed parts for here too, so I can skid across the ground easier. So yeah.
Cool.
These things are so much fun. They really are. And they fly like 40 minutes.
Wow,
That's great.
That's crazy.
it is. No,
They
that would be
really
fun.
are fun.
Yeah, you take that up, and then I'll chase you around with one of these guys.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. I mean, if I have a choice to fly, Jenna, before I say it, all right, guys, if you could only fly one drone today, what would that be? John?
Air to
Air to
Yep.
Quick one. Jenna.
Yeah, I mean, right now, oh God, I haven't flown it in a while. But God, when I fly it, I just like the control of the camera. So I'm gonna say Mavic Pro 2. I mean, I don't have the 3.
I am an adrenaline junk, and I'm going to fly my 5-incher. My 5-inch FPV. Yeah, I'll pull it out.
I haven't gotten to that point yet. I mean, I do like flying under trees, and I do like my flips and my rolls, and that sort of thing.
This is such a Cadillac, man. I mean, no, it's not a Cadillac. It's a freaking beast. Look, you're always bending your props and stuff. You just bend them right back. Okay, this one looks right. Okay. And then, you just smashed. I don't know how many times I've had to fix this thing, but it's not that many. You can see my poor antenna cap flew off one day, and I just have them 3D. I have 3D printed the cap back on. Put it on. This thing has hit power wires. It has hit trees. It has hit the ground. I mean, it has hit concrete, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, once I get to that stage, and pop
You're almost there. You got that
GoPro on it or something.
Oh yeah.
And even those cameras, right now, I mean, you've got the GoPros and the action cameras. I mean, those are even getting smaller.
Right.
and hopefully less expensive, so that when you crash one of those, you don't necessarily take out a $400 camera.
Well, yeah, and I followed your lead on the one
Yes.
damn thumb, 49 bucks,
Yep.
right? And all you need is real steady software to do your stabilization.
Hmm.
And anyway, I'm not going to take it out; it takes too much time. But yeah, but $50, and if you buy a $150 subscription from Real Steady, then you can stabilize your video,
Hmm.
and you get GoPro quality video from a $50 camera.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be nice. I haven't used it yet. I want to. We need to get together, and you need to show me your trick about how to solder those two things together, and not necessarily to the flight controller, whatever it was. But anyway.
Okay, so Wayne B has joined us, guys. He wants to know your channel. I have your channel here. Jenna, do you want to post it, or do you want me to see if I can find it?
No, yeah.
I think I have it handy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you had it up earlier. There it is. Quicker than I can do it.
And luckily, I've built up a library of. I haven't done my house cleaner with my banners, but I still have my library banners here.
Yeah, I'm kind of all over with my channel because, like I said, I'm working on a volcano video right now.
Hey,
So
Wayne.
it's about travel, photography.
Yeah.
Drones.
So your channel's called Jenna C, right?
It is. It is. I mean, I have a company, for my drones, but I don't do anything with it because I work too much.
Oh, that's good.
And not at that.
You'll retire soon because you're working too much.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, give me a couple of years.
I can't wait for that day for you.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we got a big storm moving in, guys. That's one of the reasons where Brad wasn't able to join us. He had to tighten up his house.
Oh.
We're under tornado watch, I guess, here. It's supposed to get a little windy.
I am now hearing it and seeing it come across. Big rain coming. I left my jet ski out, so it's going to get wet. But what jet skis get wet?
Yeah.
I'll just clean it up tomorrow. All right. Thank you for dropping by, Wedge Big. How do you say that? Wedge Big? Did I say that?
Wedging big. Yeah.
Girl power, man. Sean has joined us. Hey, Sean. Oh, shoot. I bet. Nashville. Did you get storms in Nashville too, Sean? We're getting some pretty nasty stuff right now. And, heavy rains, heavy winds right now, big time.
Yeah.
Well, if I lose power, I guess the show will be over, guys.
Yeah, well, it's like there's your sign.
Yeah. All right, John. So we're coming to the end of the show, and we always go through the shameless promotions. Anything you want to promote?
Actually, yeah, I'm working on a video right now, Al, that it's kind of important, and it has a message to it. It's not just a drone footage, and drone footage is really secondary to it. But I just would urge everybody to keep their eyes peeled the next few days. I hope to have it out. It's just something that's kind of it's a sad story that kind of turns out good and gives us all hope, and something we can all use in this day and age. So if you can, if you're not subscribed to my channel, look for it. I hope to have it out in the next few days, and take a look at it. And I think that's about all I'm working on as far as YouTube. So.
Well, that's a really good teaser, right? It's a sad story that turns out good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's really something that we all should support here, guys.
Yeah.
Because we all have challenges, and it's always about how we deal with challenges that makes a difference.
Yep.
So support John, guys. Go to this channel, subscribe, and watch his video coming out. All right, let's go to Jenna. What do you got? What do you got?
Well, I don't.
B29.
Yeah, the B29 video is going to be coming out. Well, I mean, that's at some point. God, it'll take me a week just to upload it to YouTube if I upload it 50 gigs.
Welcome to the club.
Jeepers.
You better get a better internet connection.
Yeah, it's like I need a hard line in the Google's whoever's servers or something. Yeah, but if I'll promote anything, then I'll touch a little bit on what John is promoting and a little bit of hope in this day and age. That never hurts anything.
Good stories are hard to find. They really are.
Yeah.
Let's promote a little bit hope and hope for the
Very true.
something better.
For the good to beat the evil. Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'll follow. What I'm going to do with the shameless promotions is I'm just going to put a video together of a meetup that four of us did. It included Rodney Bell, Brad Olson, Matt Bagwell, and myself. We met up in the Richmond City, and we flew together, and then we had fellowship and broke bread together at one of the local restaurants.
Nice.
Chicken Fiesta is one of the local places here in Richmond. And I always want to say Pollo Fiesta, but it's Chicken Fiesta. And we had a wonderful time and got to meet Matt in person, and we got to see Rodney again. And it was just so nice to be able to just chill for a whole morning and then go have lunch and then come back. And, you know, Ronnie wanted to see some of the cemeteries with the Confederate buildings and Confederate burial grounds for Jeb Stuart. And it's a private cemetery, so they still kept all the Confederate stuff. And there's one monument there that's incredibly inspiring to me because Confederate women, what do we call daughters? Confederate daughters raised enough money to build this pyramid that honors 18,000 fallen soldiers.
Wow.
So, anyway, that's my shameless promotion. And we come to the end of the show, guys. So, John, thanks for coming by, man.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
With me. Thanks
I
for
hope,
sitting me for an hour.
yeah, I hope
I
you'll join us
appreciate
again soon. And thanks, everybody, for dropping by. All right.
Yes.
With that said,
Be
Bye.
safe out there. Be
Love.
safe.
And be safe. Yeah. Okay, guys. All right.
Peace.
Peace, love, hope.
Bye,
Yes.
everybody.
Hope.